Oh, now it works. Okay. So, this story is about druggies and bad mothers. I can definitely talk about this subject because I've been around this category, these categories. This ain't going to be polite. And I do have to speak from experience because I've dated druggies, I've dated single mothers. And some of the stories I can tell you about a current mother too that cares more about getting laid than protecting her own kids. Yeah, but we'll get into that afterwards. So growing up, I knew straight away that I didn't want to be around druggies. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. And I wanted to be away from that sort of environment because what druggies do to people is they find people like me that are vulnerable and, have a good life and they try to destroy it. These druggies do not have a care about anyone but themselves at the end of the day. They will do anything to get their drugs. Women especially will suck dick for drugs. Use their body for drugs. And as long as they get their drugs, they don't care how much of a slut they are. Because at the end of the day, not only are they getting their drugs for free, but they're getting their sex for free too. So they're getting two at once, really. And sadly, I've known a few women like that. In fact, one of my friends, sadly, has probably done that for most of her drugs. I don't think in society that's how we should live life. These people that are druggies, the most common thing you'll notice in their houses is things broken, holes in walls, the smell, living in filth, and security cameras outside their gates. It's not a good life. I've been in some of these druggy houses to a point where I'm like, this is disgusting. I mean, the holes in the walls are from obviously outbreaks of anger from the drugs. The smell is just because literally they just don't put anything in bins. You walk into the house, first thing you see is probably a bong on the table or fucking rubbish all over the place. I remember walking into one house one time where it was just dust. It was rubbish. And you thought, how the fuck do these people live like this? And the one thing about druggies too, like, they make sure that their windows, like, are all covered up because they don't want people seeing, like cops and stuff. I went to one house one time where everything was covered up. Bars on windows, sheets down, because you know what a druggy house is. It was obvious. But these people just want to leech off people. They want to suck people dry. They'll make a sob story about, I've got no money for this. I need food. I need money for my kids and all that. But these sob stories don't mean shit because at the end of the day, when they ask you for money, it's for their alcohol. It's for their drugs. It's for their dope. It's for everything. And when you don't give them money, when they ask, they get angry at you and they throw it in your face. I've had one friend in particular suck up to me and be nice and then suddenly turn around and be like, I need $20 for this. It's like, so you know that I'm vulnerable and down at the moment and you're asking me for money. You're trying to take advantage of me. That's fucking disgusting. I go by the philosophy, you got to learn in life to get that shit out of your system. Do you really want to be called a druggie all your life? Or even worse, a druggie whore? No. Then don't fucking do it. Life is hard enough as it is. But dealing with druggies, I don't want to be a part of. The fact that these women rather be around those sort of blokes, the druggy sort of guys, the violent guys, the criminals that they can snap at a second and kill them or hurt them, than be with normal guys like me. Now, I've dated a lot of druggies, and I've dated a lot of druggy single mums. And the thing that I've noticed is they really don't care about anyone but themselves. As long as they get what they want, they don't care who they hurt. They will ruin people's lives just because they can. The single mothers that I've dated over the years are fucking disgusting. I'll leave a link at the end of this video of my history of dating single mums. Please watch it, and you will say, fuck, I can see why he's single and doesn't want to date single mothers. And like I've stated in previous videos, not all single mothers are like that. Just the ones I've dated. Like, if you are a single mother, for fuck's sakes, get off your fucking ass and get a job. A proper job. Not OnlyFans, not fucking selling your photos or body. Get a proper fucking job. And put food on the table for your kids. Don't fucking be with guys just so you can fuck them. Unfortunately, there's a mother that I dated this year, and I'm surprised that her kid's not taken away from her. She nearly did at one stage. She had her kids taken away for a couple of days. The sort of men that she has in her life, and she chooses to be with them over her kids. Her current boyfriend's a fucking woman basher and a kid basher. That she picks that. So you obviously don't care about your kids and your safety when you invite that into your home, especially when the guy's already hit her kid and been violent with other women. And I tell you something, if Child Services knew about that relationship, her kids would be gone straight away. Especially when that person said to me one time, I want nothing to do with this person. He's a creep. He's a woman basher. And she ends up going back to him. And they're currently in a relationship. When a woman's too scared to tell the guy, you know, he's a fucking twat. But she rather, you know, open up her legs for the guy because she's a fucking horny slut. She doesn't care about her kids. She cares about getting root. And the fact that she cheated on him already with another guy, then gets back with him again. And I look at that relationship and go, that is the most fucked up thing I'm sorry, but when you put your legs in the air for guys over your kids, you're fucking disgrace. In fact, I dated a woman here in Adelaide for a while that was last year. We had sex for 2 straight weeks every day, right? And don't get me wrong, it was good. But some of the times are so inappropriate to a point where I'm like, the kids are in the lounge. Your bedroom is there. There's only a wall separating the lounge and the bedroom. And a door, yeah? The kids have just gotten home from school. They're in the lounge room. She pulls me into the bedroom, locks the door behind her, and wants sex. Alright? So me being me, I'm like, you know, she's like, I want to fuck you, I want a quickie. But the kids are right there. They can hear everything. And I said to myself, this isn't right. Especially when the kid's been awake. And even though we had sex, afterwards was so fucking awkward. Because the kids would have heard everything. We weren't exactly quiet. And I remember, before she opened the door, I made sure all my clothes were on. Made it look like, you know, nothing happened. When she opened the door, she went to the kitchen, right? The girl runs in and goes, I know what you and Mummy just did. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. That's disrespectful to the kids. Because, you know, I'm not the daddy. Another time with the same woman this year, it's late, it's dark. I didn't think we were gonna have sex. She, like, 9 o'clock came and she was like, yeah, all excited to have sex, and then cut it within like 30 minutes. Said, no, it's too late, you know. Alright, fine, whatever. So at 10 o'clock at night, I'm driving back home and she goes, where the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm on my way home. She goes, no, you're gonna come up here and fuck me. And I'm like, alright, whatever. But she says, oh, you have to be quiet when you enter the lounge room. I'm like, oh, why is that? Oh, the kids are all out in the lounge room sleeping. You've got the front door open for me, and the kids are sleeping there. I'm supposed to keep quiet when I walk in. It's like, this is so fucking awkward. Didn't make a sound. I walked in. Got to the bedroom. He's butt naked, yeah. And we were so fucking loud to a point where I'm like, the kids didn't wake up, lucky. But what if they did? They don't know I'm there. They don't know what mummy's doing. And I find that very dangerous, but disgusting. Like, it's different if the kids are in their room, like, miles away. But when they're in the room right next door, do you not have respect for yourself? I remember as I'm leaving, the one thing I was like this, I'm like, it's so hard to keep fucking quiet. Like, the kid's right there, you know? And it's always awkward when kids should never hear that stuff. Or, worst case, walk in. I remember, I think I told this on a Freaky Friday episode where I was with a girl, alright, she had a little boy. Actually, there's two stories that can go here with two different girls, but I'll say the one that... So, we had really great sex. It was intense. We were dripping with sweat because it was that fucking hot, intense, yeah. So, her little boy, we assumed was asleep, right? And there's her room, bathroom, then his room. So it's a bit of a distance, yeah. And we were going full flat out, butt naked, the both of us, yeah. And when you hear the like pitter patter coming towards the door, that was the first time I'm like, oh my god, like I don't want to be caught like this. I threw myself under the covers and pretended to be asleep, and he jumped on the bed and said, "Mummy, I had a nightmare." And I'm like, I'm fucking butt naked right here. This is so awkward. And she's fucking butt naked, right? And I was like, I hope he doesn't want to join us in bed, because this would be so fucked. Smart thinking on her part. She got up. She, butt naked, mind you, walked him back to bed, tucked him in, and she walks in and went, oh my god, imagine if he came in, 10 seconds earlier. And it was to a point where I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, shouldn't get to these situations, like, because her door had like a gap, so like it wasn't shut, so she could hear out for him. But like sometimes like that, you think, fuck, this is when you need to lock a door. If you're gonna have sex with your partner, have the door fucking locked, because you don't want to traumatize the kid. Like he doesn't know that you're pleasuring mummy. He probably thinks you're hurting mummy. You know what I mean? So it was a bit awkward. And I remember another time where I met up with this random, and she had her little boy in the other room, and I was never planning of sex with her. We were making out. I knew that I was a bit nervous because I thought, man, if her kid wakes up, and there I am pounding the pussy, and I just couldn't really get into it because it was like, I was worried that number one, her boy would wake up, but number two, I was like, at a point in my life where I was just like, oh, this isn't good. Like, don't get me wrong, the sex was nice, but it wasn't me. And I was like, most of the single mothers that I hook up with, I feel like they're a lot more hornier. I have noticed that single mothers are a lot more hornier than like the other girls that don't have kids I hook up with. But you've got to, at the end of the day, make sure your kids are safe. You've got to make sure that if you are hooking up with a guy, you know, you don't want that interaction. If it's just a hookup or a friends with benefits thing, you don't want the kids knowing this shit or seeing the guy, because it will confuse the kid. They'll be like, well, why aren't you with daddy? Like, why can't you, see daddy and stuff? It's like, that'd be fucking awkward. Like, I remember this druggy mother that I dated, right? I met her off Facebook, believe me. I meet all of them on Facebook. I came back from a concert or something, right? And the girl was like, oh, you're in my area. Why don't you come say hello? I'm not going to say no to a beautiful chick, am I? So I went and saw her. She ran down the driveway, jumped in, wrapped her legs around me and kissed me. I was like, and this has happened multiple times, by the way, multiple different girls. So that's not a surprise. Too many times. I think it's 4 now, 4? Anyways, I'm cool with it, whatever. I'm walking down the driveway. I'm like, you have kids? Yeah, I got one. Okay. You have pets? Oh, you have 1 dog. Okay, fair enough. I walk in, and to my surprise, not clean. Fair enough. Not judging. It's what I saw on the coffee table. A bong and an alcoholic can. I was stunned that she would literally be smoking marijuana in front of her kid. You could smell it in the whole house. And the alcoholic can that was next door, I'm like, the kid is sniffing out of the fucking can. Like, this is not cool. And the bong in the can, I couldn't understand that. It worried me. I was like, even I know this isn't cool. Being a single mother is hard. I get that. But this is fucked. If you're gonna do your marijuana and shit, do it away. Like, don't even do it in the house. Like, make sure that it's away from the kid. Like, do it outside in the carport or something. But when you walk into a house and you can smell it, imagine that kid, what he smells every day and inhales. It's not right. And this is why, to this day, I despise druggies. I despise druggies and mothers. It frightens me. Some people shouldn't be parents. And you know who I'm referring to if you're watching this, because I know you're watching this. The fact that you chose cock over your kids. I'm sorry, but you're a disgusting human being. You're probably like the worst person that I've met this year. Well, I actually never met you. Lucky. Because I think you're absolutely filthy. You had a job. You had somewhat decent life. And you threw it away for a guy that's a fucking woman basher and a kid basher. A guy that can't control his anger. A guy that is absolutely repulsive looking. A guy that you actually cheated on and then said you wanted nothing to do with, and you just rubbished him to me and someone behind his back. And then you end up getting back with him. You're an absolutely pathetic life human being. You deserve your kids to be taken away, and you deserve to be locked up in a nut bin. You are not a normal person. All you care about is getting laid than actually protecting your kids. Because if you cared about your own kids, you wouldn't have that piece of shit in your house. Me and my friend even remember the time where you were telling me you wanted nothing to do with him, and you wanted him the first train out of where you lived. And you called the cops on him multiple times. And you end up with him. It's like an interesting little factor here that these people that have no self-respect for themselves, they date any guy. It doesn't matter if he's a woman basher. It doesn't matter if he's a druggie or a criminal. They'll go for a guy like that over a nice guy. And if a woman's willing to do that shit, she's not a decent person. She's a monster. She's no different than all these other people out there. thought I'd be a little bit more cruder and ruder in this vid, but I'm kind of being... I look at the great Ozzy Osbourne, for example, when it comes to drugs. In his younger days, he admitted this in a recent interview, that drugs destroyed his life. It destroyed who he was as a person, and he's made mistakes. But you know what the good thing about Ozzy is? He fixed himself up. He's got beautiful children, a beautiful wife, and they stuck by him. He's not here today. Even if he didn't do drugs and alcohol as much as he did, his time was still up. You know, drugs do shorten our life to a point, so do cigarettes. But when you know that you're doing the wrong, then change it. Don't associate yourself with people that do drugs. Don't associate with that sort of environment. I had to get rid of a good friend that I absolutely miss and care about because of the people she hanged around with. The criminals, the druggies, the wrong sort of people that could bash her, kill her, rape her. I miss her. But like I said to her in a Snapchat message, she hasn't read it though. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. I just can't be around her when she's with those people. And sometimes even when I'm with her alone, I don't know if she's going to snap. I don't know if she's going to say something that... Because there's a lot of things that she's said that I just can't get out of my brain. There was an incident one night where her and her boyfriend were in the car, and these are the words that she said: "I'm glad I cheated on you." They were having an argument, but the moment she said, "I'm glad I cheated on you," I was like, whoa, that's fucked up. And one time she said to me, "You know, Andre, I could say something to get you in so much trip. I've got something I can hold against you." When she told me that, I was like, that's not a friend. That's someone that's vile, that wants to hurt me and be vindictive. Then there's things that she said that been interesting. So, for you guys that don't know, I've had a Facebook stalker for years. This Facebook account that's was made up. Coincidence, had my ex's name in it. Alright? Every time I got into a relationship with someone, or was dating someone, or liked someone, this fake account would message them and discriminate me, discard me, make up shit about me that wasn't true, and cost me friendships. And I never... I know who it is now. So if you're watching, don't play that card again. You want to be arrested or something happened to you, I wouldn't play that card again. Because I think you're gutless that you can't even face me face to face. Your profile says you're in Melbourne, you're not in fucking Melbourne. And happens, the name that you happen to have for your first name on that Facebook, why use that name? I mean, if anything, you're insulting that person that I dated. So there's a person that, one of my friends, every time I liked someone or dated someone, my friend that I was just telling you about would add them on her Facebook. Coincidence? I don't think so. So, pretty much days after my friend would add these people, they would get angry at me and block me. And I never understood why. Until I found out that the fake account that existed was messaging these women making up allegations about me that wasn't true. And I was like, looking on my Facebook going, who's known me this long? When did this all start? Now, this person claims that it's not them. But I said to this person, well, how come that every time on my Facebook that I've added, like, you've added someone, they don't want anything to do with me after? It's too much of a coincidence. And they were the, like, from the fake profile getting, you know, these, if I can, I'm trying to find like a message here, from the fake profile to one of the people that showed me the message. And one of the messages is like, stay the fuck away from Andre. He's a psychopath. He will hurt you and humiliate you. The guy thinks he's top shit. He has multiple women at once on the side that he chats to. Now, I wish I had multiple women at the time, but if I'm not in a relationship with someone, what's wrong with more than one person I can talk to? I mean, every guy's fantasy is to have more than one woman, yeah? So why is it wrong for me to, you know, hook up with multiple different girls at once when I'm not dating anyone? So, and then there's one where Andre doesn't know it, but, you know, one of his exes had security footage of him walking up to her house. Come again? Security footage? When I break up with someone, that's it. I have nothing to do with them afterwards. But apparently, according to this person, I went up to this person's house that I dated, and it's showing me in their driveway, which isn't true. But some of the stuff that this account was saying, I was like, and how would you know that this person's got a camera? And they took. So this fake profile was going around, I'd say 4 or 5 years. Coincidentally, same time, you know, I was broken up with a person, and the fake account has that person's name on it. So with some tracking and some people that know shit about Facebook and stuff, I had a friend check the IP. Sorry, that was my stomach. The account wasn't made in Melbourne, it was made in Adelaide. And the profile pic from that person is not even a real person. I know who it is. I wish this person would meet me face to face. You could be a keyboard warrior and make up a fake account, but you can't actually confront me or ring me up and say who the fuck you are. I know who you are. But you're just too gutless to do it. Maybe you're my friend. Maybe you're a druggie that's trying to get revenge on me. Maybe you're someone that I dated and you couldn't get what you wanted from me. I'm not going to leak anything on this video, but I'm telling you this. For you to make an account and bully me for the last 5 years, 4 years, and be obsessed with me, that's sick. You're obsessed with me. You're obsessed of who I talk to, obsessed of who I date. What, you jealous because you can't be with me? Are you jealous because I didn't maybe give you that money to buy your weed or alcohol? Or you're angry because I didn't buy into your bullshit? See, revenge on some people can be sweet. But I'll tell you something. If you seek revenge on someone, you're going to get it back. And you're going to get hurt. You got to be careful who you go after. Because you don't know what that person's capable of. When you back someone into a corner, like I've stated, we all have our monsters, yeah? We all have our demons. I'm not going to lie. Unfortunately, I did have a monster. I still do. It's in there somewhere. But I know how to keep it contained. I know how to keep my anger. A beautiful woman once told me, if you want to be a good partner in life, and you want to be a good person, a human being, you gotta go get your shit together. You gotta go seek professional help. Find out what triggers you, find out what makes you upset, and deal with it in a mature manner. And I have. Sure, I'll get angry if, a sporting event, one of my teams loses. Yeah. But the anger really subsides. Even if someone really pissed me off, whether it's a man or female, violence doesn't solve anything. I'm quite proud of myself that I can be the man that person wanted me to be. And if you're watching, thank you. You know who you are. I wish you nothing but happiness. I mean, you only had one boyfriend after me, and you've been with him since. If he's treating you good, then I respect that. So if you truly love someone, you just want to see him happy, yeah. I had to pause the video there because, yeah, it's just, it's all too late sometimes when you become the person that people want you to be. I used to, when I lost my fiance of 6 years, I did go down a dark path. I drank every night. There's videos on here how bad I can drink. Lately, I just drink once a week. I was drinking every night to a point where I would literally pass out on the floor. I would literally cry myself to sleep. I would be a fucking wreck. But I only drink once a week now. I go to poker on a Friday night. Starts at 11 o'clock at night. I know. I get home about 2:30 and well, no, actually, I leave there about 2:30 and get home about 3. But it's quite an adventure when, I could win poker, I could lose poker, not win a hand, but nothing changes at the end of the night. I come home, I'm lonely, I have my thoughts, and sometimes I do think, what would drugs do in this situation? What would pills do? What would certain things do? But then I realise it's not fair if one day I take those drugs or those pills and I don't wake up and my parents find me dead. That's not fair on them. And, I've hooked up with 7 different girls this year. It's good to brag about that in some ways because 7 different girls wanted to kiss me and have. But then it's like you're going through a different train wreck. That's very true. Instead of my substance being alcohol or drugs, it's women. It's more need for affection. Like, I play video games till like 5 in the morning, right? And I'm playing FIFA, just for example. I get really excited if I pack a good player, yeah? So this week until Friday, the best player you can get is Cristiano Ronaldo. No brainer. I just did an icon pack. 3 out of the 4, I was like, I already got them. The last one, I got a card that's worth 800,000. I knew he was worth like a lot, but I didn't think he was worth that much. So when I saw that, I got so excited. You should have heard me before I came on here. That makes me happy. When, say for example, if I open up another pack right now, right, and I get maybe that Ronaldo. Little things like that make me happy. Playing this game makes me happy. So it takes away some of the pain. But the loneliness, I've dealt with it for a long time in my life. It's not about great sex, that I said earlier on in this vid with those single mothers. It's just, there's more to life than sex. There's more to life than someone looking good in a hot outfit. I said to my friends tonight, we were talking, beautiful lady. I told her tonight, I fucking care about her a lot. I've only met her once, but she took a good impression on me first up. We haven't hooked up or anything. I hope someday we do, but I can be the one person that could make her life good. I truly believe that. We come from both different backgrounds. Alright. She sent me a photo of her when she was bigger. Alright. A lot bigger than anyone I've ever dated. But as I was looking at the photos, I was like, she's actually really beautiful. Like, I think she's beautiful as it is. But when she showed me that photo, I was like, she's incredible. Like, I'll be honest, I've never been attracted to bigger girls. Growing up, yeah? I was very shallow. Like, shallow how? Until one person changed my life, and I got to a point where I'm like, you know, bigger girls you can love. And they enjoy sex a lot more. But I've become this man now that it's not about the weight of someone or about the looks of someone. It's just about their heart and their generosity and their kindness. It's about you being sick and they're looking after you. It's about someone that wants to be more than just a friend. They want to actually help you in life without getting anything back. Those people are hard to find. I have a friend that lives near the beach, and she said to me, look, I'll help you with your house and all that. Because I bought a new house and it's a lot of work to do on it. And she's like, yeah, as a friend, I'm happy to help you. Actually, she was the last person I hooked up with. Very good kisser, very beautiful lady. But, you know, when the lady says, no, I want to take you out for dinner. I want to take you to the movies. That's someone pretty cool. Because I'm used to all my life, like, I'm always the one driving, shouting movies, lunches, and I get to a point where it's like, it'd be nice if someone did that for me. You know, I dated someone, most of the women I've dated, none of them drive, none of them work, except for my fiance. She had two jobs. Respect her. One was volunteering, and the other one was doing catalogs. And it broke my heart sometimes seeing her like till 2, 3 in the morning just doing the catalogs. I was like, she deserves better than that. And then getting up at like 5 in the morning to deliver. Oh, in the freezing cold. I'm in a nice warm electric blanket bed and she's out there. It broke me. It broke my heart. It fucking killed me. Like, to see the person you love get up and go do a job at that time of morning, in the cold, in the dark. I wanted her to stop. I'd rather her stop, and whatever she made doing that job, I want to pay. I wanted her to quit that job, and I would have replaced whatever she made. I would have dug it out of my pockets, so she didn't have to like stay up late and do all that and get up first thing in the morning. Like, she was like my hero. She was not like my hero. And then when she'd like call me and be like, hey, I'll bring you home a sausage roll, or I'll cook you some lunch. That's a real woman. Even when I lost my job of 10 years, she stuck by me. Even when I was going down a dark spiral, she stuck by me. She put up with my abuse and she put up with my shit. I reckon she'd be a good mother. If she had kids, I reckon she'd be a fucking good wife. So, you know, when I lost her, I was just like, I'll never find someone like that again. And I never did. My reality in life is, I'm only here while my parents are here. There's no kids in my future. There's no relationships in my future. Because to be honest, the only people I seem to pick up is desperate single mothers. And the only people that want to hook up with me don't really want a relationship. Look, I'm happy hooking up with... I have someone I could hook up with. I have 2 people I could hook up with in Brisbane. I have someone I could hook up with in Sydney. I have someone that I could hook up with in Melbourne. Like, the one in, like, I'll be honest, the one in Brisbane. And I've told her this, and I'm not ashamed to admit this on front of camera. That would be one person that, fuck, I think she'd be the best kisser, the best sex, the best everything I've ever had. Because she's, like, the best looking. I know that if I lived there, I would make her my queen. She's that fucking beautiful. She's that fucking amazing. She's got a couple kids. A couple kids? A little couple haters? But that's okay. I do nice gestures of friendship every now and again. I won't express what I do, but I do make her feel like she's loved and wanted as a friend. I tell her how much I love and appreciate her. I do nice gestures to her. But at the end of the day, you know, she made a joke because, like, you know how I've hooked up with 7 people. She's like, I'll be number 10. And I'm like, you're not just a number to me. I like the fact that you want to hook up with me and do things with me. It's fucking amazing that a hot chick like that wants to fuck me. But none of these girls are numbers to me. They're human beings. And it's weird that I don't think I can stop. I already have like 2 people that I'm like, could be 8 and 9 within days if I wanted. And then go to Brisbane and make it 10. No. Well, actually, if I go to Brisbane, it'd be 10, 11, because there's 2 people up there. But then go to Sydney and make, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm only doing it now while I'm young. Because when I get to an old fart with no teeth, in fact, I'm not going to get even 1 chick a year. You know what I mean? So I've got to enjoy life while I can. Do I think there's a future for me with anybody? No. No kids. No relationship. If I get into a relationship, it's not going to be for very long. Because I'm not desperate to go that far. There is only probably 2 people on this earth that I'd be in a relationship with. Definitely one in Brisbane, yes, definitely. But I shouldn't say this, because in another video I kind of answered this question, because so in the next video it's all about me, and I reached out to a lot of friends and enemies. So fucking stupid. Wait till you hear the questions from them. And I truthfully answered them. Well, I haven't made the video yet, but I'll truthfully answer them. One in particular is like, you fucked up 4 or 5 years ago, but what if that person gave you another chance? What would you do? I don't even know what I'd fucking do, to be fair. Of course I want this person back into my life. Even as a friend, just talk to, I'd want them back in my life, because I'm not that same person. But at the same time, I was in love with that person, but the person she is now, I don't know if I'm in love with. You know, time changes a lot. Do I have a spot in my heart for her? Of course. It's love of my life. But I don't ever see the reality of us talking, even as friends, burying the hatchet. Even though my parents would love to see this person, I don't see it ever happening. To be fair, if that did happen, I don't think I'd be the same person ever again. I would live my life a bit different. Because she did make me a good human being that I am now. But, yeah. If she only knew what I've gone through the last few years, I took the cake. It was poisonous. I fucked up. I did my time. I've made my amends with my past. I can't change my past. but I can have a good future. Even if it's a month, a year. I'm only on this earth for a short time, but I've got to make the best of it. I'll always be a strong believer of the Lord God, Lord Jesus. I'm sorry, but that's just who I am. I don't have hate in my heart, even for someone that I talked about in this vid earlier. You know, the one that rather open her legs for a guy that, you know, has hit her kid, bashes women. I don't even hate her. I don't even hate my ex from 2 years ago that ran off with a family member. Honestly, I don't hate her. I'm confused, obviously, from both parts, but I'm happy that it happened the way it did because it made my life a lot better. Finding out what someone's really like, it's good. Cheating is not always a bad thing. It goes to show what kind of person they are, but it goes to show what kind of person you are. Like, if you can handle being cheated on and just brush it off like I did, not much will hurt you after that. Obviously the death of a loved one, yes, will, but I've already been cheated on multiple times this year. Don't give a fuck. It's their loss. And you know what's funny? The ones that those people were with after me are fucking losers. Fucking jobless dickheads that don't have fucking hope in hell. Pulling a real good woman. And I think if a woman does cheat more than once in a year, and you know who you are, make sure he doesn't piss on your floor again when he gets drunk. Because I know you watch. But you don't obviously care about your kids if you're with him. If you lose your kids, just like you lost your job because of him, don't come crying back to me. I hope you get what you deserve. You selfish, disgusting human being. I don't hate you. I'm just disgusted by you. You're never going to be a happy person by having that shit in your life. You think I need rehab? I'm not with someone that's a fucking woman basher. I'm not someone that cannot control his anger when he's drinking or control his bladder. You rubbish the shit out of him. Not just me, but to other people. You even said how disgustingly unattractive he is. Because me and others have got all the messages to say of what you said about him. And you still go back. The fact that 2 people that you've dated, one of them was in jail because of you, and then when he comes out of jail, you fuck him behind your current boyfriend's back and nearly lost your kids, well, you did for a couple of days, and then you go back to the guy that you wanted first train out of there. Yeah, you're a really bad human being. See, at the end of the day, you know, I don't have kids. And if I did, I certainly wouldn't put a finger on them. And I certainly wouldn't let any guy hit my kid. If a guy hit my kid, I'd never have anything to do with him. But no, all you want to do is fuck him. And I'll leave it at that. So it's been a very educational video. I didn't think I'd talk this long after I talked to my friend for like fucking hours on video chat. So I had a really good friend I talked to tonight, and I'm not gonna lie, I even said to her, like, she probably might watch this afterwards, but I don't care. So she's very attractive. I've met her once, and some of the stuff that she was telling me tonight, I'll be honest with you, I'm like, I want to see this side of her. I want to see the naughty side of her. I want to see the sweet, innocent side of her too. Like, there's a heart in there. She says it's broken, but there's a heart in there. And there's a kindness, and there's a glow about her that I haven't seen in a woman before for a while. We haven't kissed. We haven't met. Well, no, we met, but afterwards, it's funny. ever since then, I've been actually sick. So I've had a chest infection. You can hear it in my voice. And I've also got, I think, a sinus infection too. So you can, this video and other videos, you'll probably go, fuck, he's got no voice. Well, that's because I've had to like pause it so many times. You don't see it on your end, but I've been coughing. I've been getting dizzy. My head's just been all over the place. The doctor even said, give your voice a rest and don't go out in the cold. Well, considering one of my jobs is being out in the cold 6 to 9 at night, it's fucked my voice. Because like I just worked last night 6 till 9 and it was 9 degrees outside. And I've got like a shirt, a jumper zipped up, right? It's still fucking cold. And I'm coughing my guts up. My doctor gave me some antibiotics and I've gone through 2 different types and it hasn't fixed my throat. There's like, one doctor said it's like a mucus thing goes from here all the way back in my throat and I keep swallowing. So to clear my throat, I'm like this. That's how I clear my throat. But when it gets to a point, early hours in the morning, so it's about, what's the time now? So it's about 3:52, right? If I was to go to sleep, I may choke in my sleep. So it's very hard to sleep with this at the moment. So yeah. Anyways, 4 corners of my screen, you'll see the history of dating single mums and other vids. Check them out. There'll be a get to know me one there somewhere. It's an old one, but I'll update it soon. And yeah, just if you have druggies in your life, get rid of them. Your safety and your family safety is what you should care about. And if you have kids, definitely get rid of the druggies. And if you're a single mum that's a fucking whore, that all you care about is getting laid, then you need fucking help. Because one day, you may get a knock on the door, and that'll be child services taking your kids. And it could be me making that call. So just a little warning. Because I'll tell you something. I don't need to do anything at this end. But I've got connections everywhere. I know someone that could make a call right now and that person will lose their kids for the rest of their life. Because of they've already lost their kids once because of their behaviour. And the sort of guy that is in their house right now in front of their kids while they're sleeping. Yeah, if a cop knew that that guy was in her house right now, well, number one, he'd be arrested. But number two, if child services knew, those kids would be taken away. Would I do it? I care about kids' safety. And if that person loved their kids like they said, they wouldn't be with the guy that's sitting right next to them. And I'll leave it at that. Stay tuned for the next episode. It'll be a bit shorter. Shout outs to my crew. You know who you are. But yeah. At the end of the day, if you do drugs, you're a druggie. If you do drugs and you sell your body for it, you're a druggie whore. If you're a bad mother that does all of that, you're a fucking disgusting human being. And if you're a single mother that can't keep her legs closed and likes exposing different men to her kids, enough said about that. We'll talk soon.